Okay, so now we're back again, and what I did last weekend, I pulled the wiring for the oil pressure sensor, took the wiring up to the front, so it's coming out here underneath the gear lever, and it goes to this connector to the that goes into the gauge. And what I've done now is I did a temporary connection for the, so this is wire from the chassis I pulled from up front there. And then I also have one here that's plus power, that is on this switch, and I'm gonna show you I took it from the electrical circuit. But anyhow, this is now connected to the connector for the actual gauge, and I've been using, I found these really nifty small things. So it's lever here, so you can open it like that. What you do is you put the wire in there in the hole, and you can see, since it's transparent, you can see through here in the bottom how far in you should go, and then you just lock in the cable by flipping it down like that, and then you have that plus power, for example, on all these connectors here. I've been looking for one similar solution for quite a while, and this was a really nifty thing. So now I'm gonna connect the gauge and then start the engine real quick to see if the gauge work as expected. So that's just a temporary mounting position, and we should get light, and when I started we should get a pressure reading also. So helps if we put the car in neutral. Okay, first order of business, check power, if there is 12 volt coming up. So now I took power from a different place, and I have continuous 12 volts, so you can see it shines at least. So let's see if we get the gauge to move. Okay, that's good enough for me, because now I know there's a signal going from the sensor to the actual gauge if I get power the correct way. So now I can remove this and at some point start to fitting it in its proper place up here, since here sits the AC control unit. So now at least I know the sensor is correctly connected, and the power is, and the signal is going through up here. So good start. So if you paid attention last week, you could see that I mounted this wrong. There's a scratch here that I haven't seen before. I wonder if it's new or... Alright, so I put it on with this outside the edge here, but naturally it should go in. So this is painted, and now naturally you want to paint this also, but I'm gonna try to stay away from that. Same thing on the other side. And now I started to look at, I'm gonna attach this. I decided to not pull it all the way back here, because this actually tapers downwards, so I think it wouldn't be good. And now I measured, it's the same distance here as it is here, So now I just need to figure out how to attach this to the spoiler here. I drilled the holes there for the metal bracing that's gonna go there. But I need to connect this one and this one, and you can see I removed the screws here and everything is still in place, glued together. So I need to fill those screw holes. Need to fill those with filler and sand it down, and yeah, use some paint to make them go away a little bit more. But I'm gonna focus on attaching these two first, I think. I have these metal clips here, so you can see they fit over a flat surface. And what you do is you use a metal screw, and you screw into that like that, and you can have a washer in between. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to screw this from the underside, and I placed out these clips here on the spoiler, and now I'm gonna drill some small holes. And the problem then is to transfer these holes to the splitter, but I'm thinking that if I drilled really small holes and use these screws and just have them sticking out a little bit, if I press down, then that hole there would transfer to the splitter, and then I can drill the splitter, and these holes for these should end up in the correct place. That's what I'm gonna try at least, and hopefully it works. So here's the screws now from the wrong side, so to say, and you can see that they protrude a fair bit. And yeah, if I put it up on the splitter and push down a little bit, they should make a marking clear enough to be able to see it for indicating where to drill in the splitter. I highlighted the areas approximately where the hole's gonna be, so when I put some pressure on there, it's gonna poke a hole in the tape here, and it's more clear where I should drill. Then I'm gonna put this template over here to protect it, since the spike's under now. I'm gonna use this so I protect it while I put the approximate where it should sit, and then I can remove this when I do the actual puncturing. I had the spoiler on top here now, so there you can see there's a hole, and that doesn't show that good. You can barely see that one, but this is really clear. This is really clear also. This is decent. That is also okay. So now I need to drill through so I can screw the screws from the other side, and then it should be ready to mount. So holes drilled. Now I can remove the tape here. And yeah, There's a hole. There's one. Okay, so here are the one for the screws. Not very visible, but they are there. So let's see. And then into the spoiler. So now I just put the screws in a little bit here, and they protrude on the other side. I think I need to unscrew this a little bit. That one also. And the idea is that these screws that stick out here will match these holes here all the way over. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a try and see what happens. So now it's on from this side at least. I'm gonna flip it over and see how it looks from the other side. Okay, not too bad. Could always improve, but it's okay for the first time. So let's see if I can fit these ones here also, and then it's time for a test fit on the car. These fitted exactly as I expected. I'm a little bit surprised actually how good it came out. I just drilled a hole up there, so I have a nut. A bolt on the back side here, and yeah, just a matter of tightening these. But first I'm gonna test fit it on the car to see how it looks when it's all together. So nothing is bolted on properly, but just hanging loose. But yeah, this looks quite decent to me. Some last finish touches that need to be made, and this is only tape there for now, but some screws into the sill, and that should be fine. And together with the wing and the orange wheels, I think it's gonna look good. Let's hope. So when you're installing a stereo in the front, you probably want some extra power, and taking it from the battery is not very easy, since you have a fuel cell between the front trunk and the cabin. So I took the power from here instead. So you see I have jumped 2 positions down here, and I've taken the cable and run it up over here. So I'm gonna go in here now, because one of this is constant power and the other one is power on ignition only. And yeah, I'm gonna need to run some new power wires. Normal cross. I don't know if it's called Phillips wrench or... And if you need to jump start your car, what you do is you pull this one here, so here's where you connect the positive wire, because if you don't have any battery, you cannot pop the hood. So this is where you connect the positive, and you connect the negative on the lock latch on the door sill. There you got ground. So here is one, here's the other, both are yellow. That's really good for logic, so it's easy to tell them apart. So what I'm gonna do is, for the constant power, I'm probably gonna run a red wire instead. I haven't decided. And this is the signal cable for the rev counter. So this is not good either. Botch job, but yeah, sometimes you just need to make it work. I don't care about how it looks. Then you need to come back and clean it up instead. What is this then? Oh, okay, so this is power wire to that also. Okay, yeah. I need to probably see here. I could have all sorts of power wires running up here. So I'm gonna clean it up and reroute most of the wires, and this isn't good either. I need to do this more professionally, and I'm probably gonna solder these and have a shrink plastic around there. So yeah, that's the next step. Okay, now we have day 2, and you can see here I cut the hole for the gauge, and I cut 2 holes for some switches, and I used a step drill and a Dremel, and then I did some wet sanding afterwards. And at the top there's a hole for the wire for the GPS, so the whole thing will sit like that. So the buttons are easy to reach with the thumb down here, and the gauge gonna sit here, so good view of that. And it fits between the AC unit or control unit and the top here. And now I'm gonna do some brackets that I'm gonna put in on the downside like that, and on the upside like that also, and screw them from the sides. So this was temporary template to just test how it would look and work. And I have a scrap bit of aluminium here, and just painted out the strips that I'm gonna cut or saw out, and then bend them to fit, and drill some holes, and drill some holes in this one, so I can attach it to, well, you're gonna see later. So okay, off to cut the metal now. Now I bended the pieces that I'm gonna use here to mount the front part of, and you can see here I cut out for one of the buttons and here for the gauge. So now I'm gonna see where I can take the screws on the sides here and check that the clearance here is enough also. I might risk going even further down, but I figure if I have a screw here, here and here, then it should be enough to keep it stable, and then I mirror it up here naturally. And yeah,